Bleach's 1000-Year Blood War arc is filled with numerous fights. While some are excellent and others are good, there is a few that leave fans feeling disappointed, and I'm looking at you, Captain Rose. However, considering the vast number of battles that Kubo had to create during the final arc, it's no surprise that the quality of each fight can be very inconsistent. Instead of focusing on the less impressive battles, it's worth celebrating Kubo's ability to deliver remarkable fights despite his personal problems like his health that was affecting him during the serialization of Bleach's final arc. One of Kubo's most outstanding accomplishments in this arc was the resurgence of Renji's character. During the 1000-Year Blood War arc, Renji undergoes a significant comeback, which culminates in the crucial role that he plays in the final battle, where he motivates Ichigo to stand up and to fight against Yhwach. This arc effectively redeems Renji as a character after years of just being dogged on. I feel like he was portrayed as being weak and insignificant, falling into the background cast members, with other captains playing a more prominent role in the story. The final arc elevates Renji from those depths and it establishes him as one of the Gotei 13's powerhouses. Now this is an impressive feat considering how the fandom was feeling about his character over the years. Now before reaching such heights, at the start of the arc, Kubo had to push Renji even further down. Now following this low point, Renji emerges victorious in arguably one of the most thrilling battles in the entire series. In this analysis video, I'm going to be delving deep into Renji's battle against the Sternritter Mask D Masculine. I'm going to be examining the various elements that had contributed to this battle being truly unforgettable. Before the video begins, only 12% of the people who watch my content are subscribed to the channel. If you enjoy these videos, then subscribe and stick around for more content just like this. Now let's get back to the topic of the video. The first Quincy invasion was truly brutal. It had started in chapter 492, and honestly speaking, it's the longest and most devastating defeat that we've ever seen the Soul Society endure within the story. It is arguably one of the top 3 most humiliating and brutal defeats that the Soul Society has had in its million-year history. Numerous Shinigami from the Gotei 13 were brutally murdered. Almost half of the captains had their Bankai stolen, and then they were mercilessly defeated with their own power. And perhaps the most heartbreaking of all, it was the humiliating death of the head captain of the Gotei 13, Yamamoto Genryusai. Everyone in the Soul Society was affected by the first invasion, either directly or indirectly, and Renji was no exception to this. Following the commencement of the Quincy invasion, they had started causing mass racial eruptions, which had resulted in multiple captains and lieutenants being dispatched to intercept and defeat the enemy. Renji and his captain Byakuya Kuchiki were among those who were sent to confront the Quincy. They had ended up facing the terrifying Asnod and the overly energetic Mask D Masculine, with the battle ultimately concluding in an absolute slaughter. The captains were informed of the Quincy's ability to seal Bankai, but yet they had arrogantly assumed that they had needed to defeat their enemy before their Bankai could be sealed, or that they would be able to break the seal if their Bankai was stolen. However, this information proved to be incorrect, as the Sternritter didn't seal Bankai, but rather they had stolen them, along with the ability to use the power of the stolen Bankai. This had led to Byakuya being brutally assaulted by his own Senbon Sakura petals. Renji was left powerless but to watch it happen. You can only imagine the impact that it had on his character to witness the person that he had held in the highest regard being defeated like this. But thankfully, Renji didn't have to endure this pain for long. As soon as he had decided to step in and attempt to save his captain, he was drop-kicked out of nowhere, which had sent him hurtling into the rubbles of the Serete. This kick had come from none other than Mask D Masculine. Following this attack, Renji was incapacitated for the remainder of the first Quincy invasion. Mask didn't just humiliate Renji by effortlessly defeating him here, he had also taken away what could have been Renji's only chance at saving Byakuya. It does make you wonder what kind of an effect it would have had on Renji if Byakuya did actually die here. Now moving forward, after the terrible defeat suffered by the Soul Society at the hands of the Wandenreich, it was time to prepare for the next round. Renji, along with Ichigo and a few other Shinigami, were sent to the Soul King's palace in order to train and to empower themselves for the upcoming second bout with the Quincy. They had underwent various restorative procedures at the hands of the Zero Division, and it had culminated in Ichibei revealing the true name of Zabimaru's Bankai to Renji, and incidentally granting him the power of this new Bankai. After some extra training in the Soul King's palace, Renji and Rukia were ready to return to the Soul Society and to get some much deserved payback against the Quincy. They make their return in chapter 561, arriving just in time. While they were on their way, Mask D Masculine had been fighting the Vizard captains Rose and Kensei. Kensei was overpowered and defeated by Mask's overwhelming and nonsensical power. On the other hand, Rose could have easily won this fight if he had just kept his mouth shut. His blunder had resulted in a star-shaped hole being blown right through him. As Mask tries to finish the job, his star flash is intercepted by a familiar blade right at the point of impact. This is revealed to be Renji Abarai, who had arrived onto the scene with Rukia. This entrance is easily one of the coolest in the entire story. When Mask asks who had blocked his star flash, Renji delivers one of the best one-liners in the series. Unfortunately, this line falls on deaf ears, literally. Prior to that arrival, Mask had destroyed his own eardrums thanks to Rose's careful guidance. However, Mask's hearing is quickly fixed when he calls on James. After some banter between the two of them, Mask launches an attack that can only be described as a spear merged with a headbutt. This causes quite a fair bit of destruction in the city blocks surrounding them. I have to admit, I love how wild Kubo got with the creativity with his characters in this arc. The idea that Renji was going up against a luchador with the power to weaponize the cheers of his fans is such an outlandishly cool idea, and I'm really glad that Kubo was able to incorporate these unique but inspired ideas into the story. Continuing with the fight, Mask's headbutt proves to be ineffective, and Renji remains unscathed, and he looks visibly underwhelmed by the attack that he has just taken head on. He responds with his own elbow drop, creating a massive crater in the ground and burying Mask's face into the dirt. It's exhilarating to see Renji portrayed as an absolute boss in control of the fight. It's an exciting change of pace compared to the Renji that we're used to. Mask gets up, appearing damaged by Renji's attack, and he prepares a counter-attack. He throws a punch that he calls his murder punch, swearing that it will kill Renji this time. However, it unsurprisingly fails, with Renji catching it and looking even more unimpressed by the offense of his opponent. One might think that Renji was wondering if this was really the same guy who had taken him out with a single dropkick just a few days ago. Mask begins to get angry, realizing that his attack has once again been effortlessly caught by Renji, and he starts unleashing a barrage of his murder punches. This is reminiscent of the barrage of punches that are seen within JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and Fist of the North Star. It creates a huge cloud of dust, providing perfect cover for Renji to slip behind the Sternritter and to kill James, who had been confirmed to be empowering Mask with his cheers. He slashes him to pieces, and before Mask could even finish his speech about how cowardly Renji's actions were, he receives a massive slash across his midsection from Renji Zanpakuto Zabimaru, bringing an end to the respective chapter of the manga. Their battle then continues in chapter 563, as Renji starts to walk away believing that he has successfully defeated Mask. However, in true professional wrestling fashion, Mask stops his bleeding by clenching his abs tightly. This move is simultaneously cool and very ridiculous, and Kubo masterfully captures this blend of absurdity and awesomeness. The Sternritter then calls out to the scattered pieces of James, proclaiming that a villain cannot defeat a hero. Surprisingly, James responds and multiple new instances of him spawn everywhere, and they all start cheering for Mask. This support powers up Mask, giving him a wardrobe change, as he now dons a new mask, gloves, boots, and even briefs. He then throws a punch towards Renji, which sends him flying through the air. He explains that his new power allows his punches to generate so much force that they don't need to physically hit his opponent for their impact to be felt. He refers to these as his 1 mile arts, and he launches a barrage of similar punches at Renji. As Renji tumbles through the Quincy cityscape, Mask enters his holy form, further boosting his power. He launches his finishing move, the Star Flash Supernova, which sends a massive star-shaped blast that engulfs Renji and the surrounding buildings. This attack incinerates all the James clones, but Mask isn't worried about this, as he knows that James will always exist as long as he is alive. However, from the smoke emerges a snake skull, revealing an unscathed Renji with his all-new Bankai. Enraged, Mask charges at Renji, but he catches him with the arm of his true Bankai, Soho Sabimaru. He breaks the Sternritter's arm and throws him into a nearby building. Mask then emerges furious, but Renji stabs him with his ability called Snake King, and then finishes him off with another attack called Zaga Teppo. This attack incinerates Mask from within, similar to how Mask had blasted through Rose with his star beam. Because of the Sternritter's his carelessness in killing James, there is no way to save him from his fate here, and the battle ultimately resolves with Renji victorious. In summary, the battle between Renji and Mask serves as a pivotal turning point for Renji's character, solidifying his position as a top tier Shinigami. This fight not only showcases Renji's determination and strength, but it highlights his all new impressive power up through his new Bankai. While the recent one-shot New Breeds from Hell has raised some concerns about the longevity of Renji's new status, fans are hoping that Kubo will continue to maintain Renji's powerful stance within the series. With the upcoming second court of the 1000-Year Blood War arc anime airing in July of 2023, audiences are eagerly anticipating the adaptation of this intense fight. This battle has the potential to be expanded upon, providing even more depth and excitement to an already thrilling encounter. Fans are particularly interested in seeing how the anime will visually represent Renji's power-ups, as well as seeing the intricate details of his true Bankai animated. The engaging back and forth between Renji and Mask will undoubtedly captivate viewers, making this one of the most highly anticipated fights from the second core of the anime. Overall, the Renji vs Mask fight is a major milestone for Renji, and it's a testament to his growth throughout the series. I hope that the anime truly expands upon this fight and gives Renji more of a spotlight than the manga did, because ultimately we all want to witness Renji's triumphant victory and a showcase of his newfound powers. So we reached the point of the video where I want to now hand over the discussion to all of you. What did you think about Renji vs Mask? I'd love to know all of your thoughts in the comments, so definitely continue the discussion. And lastly, thank you for making it to the end of this video, and I can't wait to see you in my next Bleach Explained video. If you enjoy my content, then you can support my channel through Patreon for as little as $1 a month, or even through YouTube by becoming a channel member. You will gain access to exclusive channel perks and a Discord server which I frequently use. So become a member of my Zero Division and be the first to know about my upcoming videos. And once again, thank you for sticking around till the end of the video, and whatever you contribute will mean a lot to me.